Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today what we have here is the newest product from D-Link, the Eagle Pro AI model R15. And I would like to say thanks to our friends at D-Link Philippines for giving us an opportunity to test and review their newest Wi-Fi 6 router. Before we begin, let us try to check what are the things that are included in the box. The Wi-Fi router comes in white, and it also includes a LAN cable and a power brick. Aside from those, it has a quick installation guide and a warranty and safety information. For the specification of this Wi-Fi router, it is dual band 2x2 Wi-Fi 6 router, AX1500 mesh capable with other Eagle Pro AI devices, one WAN port, 3 Ethernet LAN port which are all gigabit ports, and it supports WPA, WPA2, and the latest WPA3 for Wi-Fi security. And aside from those things, it has an Eagle Pro AI features including AI Wi-Fi optimizer, AI Mesh optimizer, AI traffic optimizer, AI parental control, AI assistant, and on top of that, it is voice control compatible with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. And now, for the installation and configuration of this Wi-Fi router. First, you need to download the Eagle Pro AI application. And aside from that one, for the Wi-Fi router, just plug it in on the wall outlet and get the LAN cable coming from your main modem router and connect it at the WAN port or the yellow port at the back of your R15 router. Okay? Just make sure that this LAN cable is connected from the main Wi-Fi router or another router that has internet connection. Okay, aside from that one, going back to the application that we have on our mobile phone, you just need to scan the QR code on the bottom of your Wi-Fi router. So click scan, and as you can see here, it will scan the Wi-Fi router and set up new network. Okay, and click next, and internet connection or LAN cable is already connected, and aside from that one, it is powered on. Next, and next, and next. Okay, and it is currently configuring the Wi-Fi router. Okay. Okay, and it tells us that the name of the Wi-Fi router is R15-OE9B, and connect. And automatically we will be able to connect to our Wi-Fi router. Okay, and now let us set the country. For us, it will be the Philippines, and for my internet service provider, unfortunately there is no Converge, so I'll just leave it blank. I can find one, and automatically it will still configure your Wi-Fi router. Okay, and now let us try to change the Wi-Fi name for this one. So let us try to name this one D-Link R15, and our password will be 12345678990, just for the sake of testing. And this is my Wi-Fi network SSID and my password. And next, and for the administration password, you can set it here as well. So let us try to use QWERTY 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, then hit next. Then enter your device name. Let us leave it blank, R15, and save. Okay, and automatically it will link to the cloud, so you can actually control your Wi-Fi router anywhere you are. Okay, right now we are already on the 78%, and let us try to check if we have already the Wi-Fi SSID that we have set earlier. And as you can see here, there is D-Link R15, and I'll try to connect to that one. And the password that we have set earlier is 12345678990, and connect. Okay, and there you go. We have already configured our Wi-Fi router, and let us try to check the Eagle Pro AI15, and it will say congratulations, finish. And as you can see, there is already the Wi-Fi router, so we can already access the internet for this one. And now let us try to check the specification or the things that we can actually do on this Wi-Fi router. And now let us try to access the web management console of this new Wi-Fi router. Let's enter the credentials that we have set earlier. And on the main landing page, you'll be able to see some information regarding your Wi-Fi router. Like for example, is it connected to the internet, and show you how many clients are currently connected to your Wi-Fi router. When you try to click these connected clients, you'll be able to see those clients that are currently connected. Like for example, annihilation, unknown, and the other one is unknown because maybe the naming is not yet updated. And let's try to click the pencil icon on this item. And you can see you can actually reserve the current IP that it has. And every time you connect to the network, to your R15 router, you'll be able to get the same IP as well, and also set the parental control on this menu. Okay, and going to the next item for the settings, there is a wizard. We won't be tackling the wizard anymore because we have already configured the Wi-Fi router. And the next one will be the internet. Okay, for the internet, this is the information where you can actually choose the connection type that you have provided to you by your internet service provider. Like for example, my internet connection is dynamic IP DHCP, which is the one that I have already configured, and you can actually choose depending on your internet service provider. Okay? And aside from that one, there's an advanced setting if you want to create a hostname, primary DNS server, secondary DNS server. You can also clone the MAC address. And aside from that one, let's go to the wireless settings. Okay, for the wireless settings, actually, we're going to discuss some of the AI capability of this Wi-Fi router. Like for example, the AI Wi-Fi optimizer. It is actually the one responsible for choosing the best channel available for your Wi-Fi network. And for now, let us try to check our D-Link R15 on what are the channels that it is currently using. And I'll show you my phone. Okay, for 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, we are using channel 3 while the other Wi-Fi router is using a different channel. For 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, our D-Link R15 is using channel 149, and the other Wi-Fi router is using a different channel as well, meaning that there will be less interference coming from the other Wi-Fi router near us or on the other room or on our neighbor's Wi-Fi router. Okay, aside from that one, let us try to check the other things that we can do on this Wi-Fi router. Okay, what we have here is the Wi-Fi Mesh or the AI Mesh Optimizer. Okay, it has an AI Mesh Optimizer, meaning that if you have another Eagle Pro AI Mesh node, you can create a mesh network. And what does the AI Mesh Optimizer does is actually the same technology for the AI Wi-Fi Optimizer. It chooses the best channel available for creating a mesh network, so there will be less interference coming from the other Wi-Fi router that you have or near you. Unfortunately, we cannot show you on how to configure the mesh capability of this router because we only have one router for now. Hopefully, in the future, we can configure the mesh capability and show you on how it works. And now, let us go with the next feature of this router. And as you can see, the Wi-Fi mesh is still enabled and the Smart Connect is grayed out, meaning we cannot disable Smart Connect since Wi-Fi mesh is enabled. Okay, let us try to disable this one first. And as you can see, we can now disable Smart Connect. And okay, what the Smart Connect does is actually just provide one SSID for 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. So every time your device or mobile phone or tablet connect to the D-Link R15 SSID or Wi-Fi name, the router will be the one responsible to allocate you if you deserve the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency or the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. If the router detects you that you are near and have a good signal strength coming from your mobile device to the router, it will allocate you to the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. While if it detects that you are too far away from the router and 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency cannot really contact or communicate with your mobile device, it will automatically move you to the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. So if you want to choose every time you connect for 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, just disable the Smart Connect. Okay? But for now, let us try to enable this one. And now, going to the network tab, this is where you can actually change the LAN IP address of your Wi-Fi network and also change the DHCP range accordingly if you want to change the range from 100 to 249 or the other range that you want. And the most thing that I really like about this network tab is the advanced settings for one port speed. Meaning you can allocate 10 or 100 or gigabit network on this Wi-Fi router. Meaning, if you want to give your neighbor a Wi-Fi router and an internet connection and you just want to allocate them 10 Mbps of bandwidth speed, you can set it here. They'll be only getting 10 Mbps coming from that D-Link R15 router. I really like this feature on this Wi-Fi router. And the next one will be the D-Link Cloud. Okay, for the D-Link Cloud, this is the one where you create an account, and the thing that you can actually do here is when you're not home and you want to access your Wi-Fi network or your Wi-Fi router and configure or change some configuration, you can actually access the Wi-Fi router even though you're not home, even you're far away place. Just use the mobile data or the other Wi-Fi available on those locations. You can shut down the Wi-Fi router remotely. Okay, aside from that one, let us go with the operation mode. Okay, for the operation mode, there are actually 3 operation mode for this router, meaning that you can configure this router as a router mode, an extender mode, or even a bridge mode. Okay, and now let us try to go with the other features of this router. Okay, and what we have here is the parental control, or D-Link call it AI parental control. Okay, and let us try to create a profile. You can name the profile according to what you want, and also allow internet access time for this profile, block internet access during bedtime, and allow limited access. Like for example, let us try to enable this one, and you can set the specific time granularly on when do you want these devices to be able to allow to access the internet. And let's just close this for now, and let's create a website filter rule. So for example, what we have here is Google and google.com, and you can hit apply on this one and choose the device that you want to be added on this profile. Like for example, this phone or this computer will be able to access google.com on every time he is connected to the internet or to this Wi-Fi router. And aside from that one, let's not save this for now. For the QoS engine, okay, this is where you can actually set prioritization for your device, and it has AI traffic optimizer, meaning that if I have 300 Mbps of subscription plan, the download and upload speed, I can set it here, and when that bandwidth, 300 Mbps bandwidth is being consumed by all the devices, and we have a high network traffic, and I want the device to be prioritized, I can just set it to priority, which is high, always enabled. But if I want something like, for example, a smart device to have a minimal consumption of the bandwidth, if the 300 Mbps is being utilized, I can set it to low, and it will be the less priority from the other devices that I have. Okay, and aside from that one, let us go with the firewall. Okay, for the firewall, you can actually enable this one and set the configuration if you're more on advanced, if you want to block port and open port. And also we have here port forwarding. If you want to forward ports, it really depends to you. This is more for advanced user, and static routes as well, dynamic DNS, and quick VPN. Okay, now let us go with the thing that I really like about this Wi-Fi router. Okay, and that will be the AI assistant. Actually, it just gives me report on what is really happening to my Wi-Fi router. For the web management console, the AI assistant is on the top. The document icon, just need to click that one, and it will give you the nighttime active report, weekly Wi-Fi environment report, weekly internet traffic report. And I'll try to show you the difference on the mobile application on my mobile phone. and sharing my phone. And as you can see here, I have already opened the AI assistant. Okay, like for example, the AI assistant nighttime internet activity report. I need to click that one. And as you can see here, I can set the parental control then and there if I want to limit or restrict the devices for their internet traffic during nighttime. And while on the web management console, it doesn't have another button to configure the parental control because it is already on the left window of this web management console, okay? But for the mobile phone, I can also see the Wi-Fi environment report. It shows me that your Wi-Fi network was optimized 11 times this week to minimize interference, meaning that it changes the channel 11 times, so we will have less interference from the other Wi-Fi routers. And the last one will be the weekly internet traffic report. Okay, for this one, we have used 1,759 gigs of internet data for 1 week for these 3 devices. And these 3 devices transmitting large quantities of data during this network congested period. Okay, if for example, this device is actually being used for a cause or really needs high bandwidth utilization, I can set it to high priority. If not, I'll just set it to low priority. So this is where the AI traffic optimizer works. So I can prioritize which device needs to be allocated the best bandwidth available. And this is what I really like about the AI assistant. Now I know a lot of you appreciate those features, but I believe some of you are actually looking on how it performs in terms of range or even gaming experience. So we are going to do our traditional test with this Wi-Fi router. For the settings of the router, we have a plan 2500 from Converge, which is 300 Mbps of upload and download speed. And we also enable the Smart Connect feature of this router and see on how it will perform on our testing. For our baseline testing, just sitting beside the Wi-Fi router, we are getting around 290 Mbps of download and 298 upload speed. Then moving on to the roof deck, which we have a concrete flooring, and we are getting 27 Mbps of download and 17.1 upload speed, which is actually a good thing as well because we are able to access the internet on the roof deck. Okay, and let us try to move again downstairs to the master's bedroom, which we have a solid wooden door and a solid concrete wall, and we are getting 272 Mbps of download speed and 140 Mbps of upload. And now for the last part, we are headed to the ground floor, and again we have a concrete flooring separating from the ground floor and the second floor where the router is actually configured. And we are getting 61 Mbps of download speed and 30 Mbps of upload speed. And I think this is still a good Wi-Fi coverage coming from this model, the R15 Eagle Pro AI. And of course, you wanted to know how it performs on playing games. For our favorite mobile game, the Mobile Legends. And we are getting a good gaming experience on this one. We even tried to move on the other side of the room where there is a concrete solid wall in between, and we are getting a single digit latency from Mobile Legends. Then we even tried to move on the master's bedroom, and we are still getting a single digit latency on Mobile Legends. And all I can say that is actually a good gaming experience for me for Mobile Legends, and I believe with other games as well. Now, the question is, will I actually recommend this Wi-Fi router? Well, it is only priced at 3,399 pesos SRP. It has mesh capability, and actually, you have seen on how it performs and the things that it can do. I don't think that I need to persuade you that this is a great router. It is evidently shown on the videos that we have performed earlier. But honestly, it took me 1 week to test and review this Wi-Fi router to provide you all the information that I can gather. And yes, this is a great Wi-Fi router. And for me, the biggest selling point for this R15 model will be the AI assistant. It will make your life easier on managing your wireless network and the devices that are currently connected to your Wi-Fi network. And if you want to purchase the Eagle Pro AI R15, you can try to visit the official store in Lazada and Shopee for the link. And I'll include the link on the description below, and you can purchase it online. And I think that is all. I hope you like the video, and if you do, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you are not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well so we can create more videos. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, stay safe, and bye.